Hi everyone, welcome to this new video, and as you have noticed, this time this video is going to be in English. Normally I do the videos in German, but when I was affected by that problem, I read to all the forums and noticed that not everyone speaks only German who has this problem, so therefore I decided to do this in English. But I think the people who are suffering from this issue are just a little subset of all the people who are using eGPUs, because this problem is specific to macOS, and as people describe the problem, it's maybe a little bit more specific, namely in macOS Catalina. And I have macOS Catalina. I have bought an eGPU, the Razer Core X, and I wanted just to extend my Mac Mini from late 2018. But I was surprised as I set the system up to see the white screen of death. Yeah, it's called like that. And I have the white screen of death always when I am on port 4 on the US or in the Thunderbolt ports. Always on port 4. I see a white screen of death. Now I have it on port 2, and that's the other controller. You have two controllers on the Mac Mini, two Thunderbolt controllers, and every controller has two ports. So I'm on the first controller here. I can show you that now. Here on the screen you can see that everything was set to default. I have just started the Mac. The eGPU also started with the Mac together, and I have this graphics card, that's the RX580, on default mode. So it has a BIOS switch, and I'm on the default mode, which is basically the gaming mode as it states in the manual. And with that default mode, which is the gaming mode, I don't see, on this part I don't see a white screen of death, but I just have a black screen. Maybe it's the black screen of death, I don't know. And as we can see here, everything is running, the eGPU is running, and what I'm going to do normally, if I have the white screen of death, I just shut down while the Mac Mini is on. I just shut down the eGPU, and then I just wait a little bit, and you see there is no signal. The monitor just says it has no signal, and then I turn the eGPU back on. But we will see here, if we wait a little bit, that this time with the black screen of death, this workaround does not work around that problem. So you will still have this problem if you have the black screen of death, let's call it that way, and you just want to restart the eGPU. It will not help. Basically, in my case, it won't help. But I figured something out that I'm going to show you now, and with this, let's call it workaround, it will work perfectly. Now, basically, this is a problem of macOS Catalina, so this will be hopefully fixed sometime. But till then, I can show you this little workaround, which will hopefully make your workflow a little bit more efficient than just constantly turning off and on everything again. Now what I have done is I just now shut down the eGPU and just booted up the Mac Mini, so that the Mac Mini will boot up. But there is no HDMI cable connected to the Mac Mini. It's just the Thunderbolt cable that's directed to the eGPU. But it starts up, and I'm thinking about, okay, it's now 20 seconds. Now it should be on the log on screen, and after that I turn on the eGPU. And if I do that, you will just see right now it just perfectly turns on and everything works. And I will show you now that everything works by showing you the Radeon name that is on the menu bar at the top. Now, as I was telling about the gaming mode, this workaround only is for people who are or who have a GPU with a BIOS switch, where they can turn it a little bit slower, or to turn it to the silent, the so-called, maybe some people call it silent mode, some compute mode. If you have such a switch, you can just try it out, and I think it will help, because I did a couple of tests. I did it with all the ports, and I also did it with a friend's MacBook Pro, and it helps. So maybe it's a card specific thing, but I read so many times in the forums that they have problem with this RX 580, and also I guess with the 570. So I think till we wait to the update from Apple, we can use this as a workaround. Now what I'm going to show you right now, and I wanted to do this without a cut, just that you can see how quickly this can be done, especially with the Razer Core X, because it's such a great build and you have such a quick access to everything, and you don't even have to unplug everything that like I did it right now, because you can just leave everything on, just unplug the power cable and then just slide it out. And now you can see here with that card there is a little switch which is on the left side, and you can pull it on the right side, and then you are basically in the silent mode or computer mode or whatever mode they call it. I guess that's kind of a marketing thing to call it, you know, cool or whatever. And sometimes then the default mode is called gaming mode or boost mode, and especially on this card, that's a Nitro Plus, it says it's overclocked, and yeah, but I personally, I just run a couple of benchmarks, and they are a difference if you are on silent mode. Of course, it's throttled down a little bit. I think that's the base or the standard frequency or clock speed that AMD, or pardon, yeah, AMD ATI was the old name. AMD has given to the manufacturers like Sapphire and so on, MSI and so on. And the gaming mode is just the overclocking mode. I'm not an expert in graphic cards. That's my first graphic card that I bought right now, because if you use a Mac, you don't really have so much to do with graphic cards, but it's cool, and it works if you do this workaround. And now, as you can see, I just started the Mac Mini and everything works fine. So it started right up without any issue. It took a little bit longer, but I think if you switch to BIOS, maybe the system has to reconfigure itself or something like that, but this helps. So if you have a problem with a white screen or black screen of death or whatever, and if you have the switch, the BIOS switch, you can try this out and hopefully it helps. I didn't play a game with that mode till now, because I don't really play games on that Mac Mini. It's just for streaming, as I said, and till now I have this configuration a couple of hours, and till now it's absolutely okay, but let's hope that it stays like that. Yeah, that was it. Thanks for watching. You can subscribe and like and comment if you want to see a comparison or something like that. Bye guys.